All praises to the mighty Most High. Shalom, family, and welcome. This is an update on the last video. We were able to pay for the rent for the brother until next month, the 15th to the 15th, because he had to be out on the 14th, or his last day was the 14th, so it's the 15th to the 15th. Also, I want to thank everyone who gave in every way, whether it's a good word, concern, kind gesture, all of it. I want to thank you. I'm also going to name off a few names here. Thank you, Todd Dash. Thank you, Pamela. Excuse me if I say your name's wrong. Sorry, but I'm trying my best. Pamela Yule. I hope I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I didn't. I'm not trying to say it wrong on purpose. Any of y'all's name. Thank you, Andrew Sarak. I think it is. Thank you, Charles Lindsley, Marvin White, Ishman Ware. Thank you. Some of these are people that gave towards the cause of helping others with the food and everything. And some of these are people who give all the time. Sometimes they give off and on, and it came in. So reoccurred giving, and it came in. I think it's Michelle Williams. Thank you. Buster Faggins. Thank you. So I'm just naming those right now, between March and now. Thank you, Javier Orlano. Sorry if I get it wrong. Jaquan Jones. Thank you. Amy Jones. Thank you. Antoine Ware. Thank you. Annabelle Izari. Sorry if I get it wrong. Thank you. Thank you, Deshaun. And it's good to hear from you. Love you, brother. Thank you. Thank you, Javier Arellano. Thank you. I think it's Coffee Quartade. Sorry if I get it wrong. Oh my goodness. But KOFIKRKWARTNG. Thank you. Thank you, Corey Ashley. And thank you, Stephanie S. Simpson. Thank you. Thank all of you. I want to also thank Sister Yakia. Thank you. Your words were wise and needed at that point in time. Thank you, Joseph Jones. Thank you for the love. Thank you. Didn't have to be here running wild. Thank you. Thank you, Jack Mann. Thank you. Thank you for your beautiful words. Thank you, Bryson Corsi. Hope I'm saying that right. Forgive me if I don't. Thank you. I always see you on the page. And you always have encouraging things to say, you know. Thank you, C. That's like the letter C. Thank you. Thank you, Alisma Alexander. Thank you for your love and concern. Thank you so much. I may not be able to say everyone, but I'm so happy and feel so loved. Thank you for all that you've done, for your concern, for your love. I think it's magnificent. Thank you. And I'm glad that you're glad to hear from us. I'm happy that you're still here with us. Thank you, Lesnar Golden. I'm not sure how to say the name, so forgive me if I say them wrong. But my intention is to thank you all and to tell you that I love you. Thanks for the donations to help the brother and to help those in need of food and things like that. We went to the store yesterday and we combined it, the money we have and the donations that came in. We have about maybe $60 more that came in that we're gonna donate to another family. So thank you guys. And I want to say none of the money went to us. We gave it to others. We helped others. And I thank you guys for giving. I thank you guys for helping. I am so happy and I was so relieved, that the people were helped, that the brother he's not out in the street. Because like I said, he is on medication. He has different issues and he is on medication and really does not need to be homeless. And no one needs to be homeless. I don't like to see people out on the street. I don't like to see people hungry. And I don't like to see the people that walk past them and don't care. So I thank you guys. Also, I want to say that my daughter-in-law, she's on her way to see her grandfather, or pretty much her father, because like I said, her grandmother and grandfather raised her. And no money that was donated was used for that. I have to state these things because people don't act right. I'll put it that way. Because even if it was, it's to help her to see her family member, just like you would want to see your family member. And I hope he doesn't pass away, but he is very old and he's sick and he's in the hospital. So if he was to pass away, I want to say it that way. I'm not going to say he's passing away because I don't know. Only the Most High knows. But if your family member was sick, hurt, you would know you would rush to the hospital or where they were or to their bedside. So we shouldn't begrudge anyone else that. But yeah, she's on her way, and I hope that he survives and that he's okay, that the Most High will bless him to be okay. But I know what she's feeling. Like I said, I lost my grandmother. I got to see her before she passed. She was not, I had to go see her too. She was not where I was in the state I was. A few weeks later, she was gone. My mother passed in the hospital. And I talked to her the night before, and the next day she was gone. My grandmother at the time was still alive, and she called me and said she was gone. So I know how that feels, and then I know how that feels, even with my husband, and he was in the hospital. It doesn't matter to you how or you have to or when or why you're gonna get to the people you love when they're hurt, when they're sick, when they may not be here anymore. You're gonna get to them. You already have much love for them and try to do anything and everything for them. But it hurts down deep to the crevice when something is wrong with them, when they're hurt. And I'm talking about, for me, even when they're hurt, just from simple life events, when they're hurt and, they feel like, you just can't depend on people. And, I hurt with them. I hurt with my husband, I hurt with my kids, I hurt with my mother, my grandmother, and people in my life. I hurt with my daughter-in-law. I hurt, because I hurt with the people that don't have, the homeless people. It hurts me to see them like that. It hurts me, even though I know there's a reason. I know that maybe, they did something to get their own self in that situation, or the Most High is doing something with them. He's humbling them to the dust so that they can change. Get themselves together. Forgive me if my voice goes a little wrong right now. I have this thing with my sodium, and so my mouth gets real dry. Not to mention I have diabetes. So if everyone who has diabetes, you know how that is. Your mouth gets real dry. You run to the bathroom a lot, different things like that. But also, when your sodium is low, same thing with dry mouth. It gets really, really dry. You get dehydrated real easy. You also can get sick because of it and different things. So sick as in you could, die. because your sodium gets so low, because there has to be a balance, according to the way they explained it to me, has to be a balance with, the water, potassium, sodium, different things in your body. And then when your sodium's low, it depletes your potassium, which is not good. And so, like I said, I have, different things that I go through, but I push if I can, and if the Most High helps me, I push until, I can do what needs to be done. I try to push. Yeah, there are days when I can't, but most of the time I try to push. But I did want to let you all know that, so you don't think, I didn't, I'm not getting on here, or I'm not telling you anything, or I just did that video. I wanted you all to know that, okay, you helped, and the Most High blessed you to help, and blessed us to help, and I'm very, very happy right now. That was my main goal, was, the other people, thinking about others more than yourself. But it was a main goal of food and things. I can't say names and this and that. I won't unless I get permission. But, you helped a lot. And I thank you. And helping in that way, it also helped us in a way of, to get my daughter-in-law to see her ill grandfather. Thank you. You helped in all those ways. You helped my daughter-in-law also get there, because what you did helped, every aspect of what we were trying to do in that area. And we're still working on moving and things like that. God is good. That's all I'm saying. God is good. So, in saying that, I also want to talk about a dream I had, a couple of dreams I've had. Just quickly, one dream I had was my husband. It's like we were walking, my husband and my children, and myself, and it's like we were walking down this highway, and then all of a sudden we seen clouds. It was like the clouds. They were up in the air, but they were it was like a bunch of them. And then, so we're walking, and we were kind of pointing out the clouds, and, because the way they were gathered together was unusual. But then, we just kind of left it alone, kind of shrugged it off, walking, talking. And then next thing we know, the clouds just start coming down. They're we looked and they were coming down around us. And it looked, at first it was like fog, and then it thickened. And you could tell it was the clouds. And then we're like, okay, what's going on? And, and we could barely see each other. I'm like, what's going on? And we're talking, we could hear each other. And we could see each other a little bit, but we didn't know what was going on and why the clouds, and we're asking her, why are the clouds so low? Why are they coming down? And then the next thing, my husband swooped up in the clouds. And I'm calling him, and then we start getting food. I'm we start calling each other because we're getting swooped up in the clouds. So then we're up in the clouds, and at that time, myself, I couldn't see anyone, and I don't think anyone could see anyone else. I think my husband was already going up, which he is, and what happened was the cloud, the clouds started, they gathered around me, and then they started going down my throat. I don't know how to explain it. It went in my mouth, started going down my throat, almost as a horn. It's a piece went in, and it's still hooked to the other clouds, and a piece went in and started going down my throat. And my thoughts were, oh no, it's time. This is the time, And I was saying that, I was, the more it went down, the less I could breathe. And my thoughts were this, that I hope I did everything that I could do to make it. Because at the time, it was very scary when the cloud was going down, and I knew that it was time. I didn't know if they were releasing my soul, or, about to take it up or whatever, but I had a feeling of that, okay, it's time, and, I'm being taken, and it doesn't mean that, you're gonna go up in the air and some kind of rapture or whatever. You're floating up in the air. Could happen, but it doesn't mean that. It could just mean that, the time is near and it's the end. And all my family basically were getting taken, or their souls were getting taken. But, my main thought, I knew I was, and my main thought was, did I do enough? Will I make it to heaven? That was my main thought. And for people who think they won't fear, you will fear, because you don't know where you're going. You don't know what's going to happen next. You're going to be judged, but you don't know what's going to happen next, and you don't know if the Most High is going to be angry. You don't want the Most High to be angry at you. You don't know what's going to happen. If there's some sins you forgot, if there's something more you could have done, you don't know. And so I had a lot of fear in me. On top of having the fear, I also had hope. I had hope that, okay, I've done what I needed to do. I hope I hope I make it. And the way that was going, it wasn't like a painful thing. It's more like a gentle thing, like a gentle lifting, a gentle. So I was thinking, because of that, well, maybe, I'm gonna make it, or maybe, the Most High is gonna forgive me for anything that I've done. Maybe, you can't say that that's gonna happen, or, put your finger on and say, oh, I definitely am gonna make it, because it's a mystery. He left it a mystery for a reason, and nobody truly knows where they're going. You just have to strive and struggle and keep going, and hope that He will forgive you. He will have mercy on you. Your works are enough, and that you will make it. So that was one dream. And the other dream was, I had a dream that I was walking down a hallway, and everyone was there, and it almost looked like school or something. But I was walking down the hallway, and I was on my way out, and I was talking to people, or whatever, laughing and talking, and most of them were family. But anyway, I seen this person coming, and I couldn't see their head, but I seen them coming, down the hall, their body. So I'm walking, and then it was something strange about them, and I'm trying to figure it out, and then it hit me. And I'm like, oh no, not now. I'm not ready. Not now. I need more time. I have to get things together, for my children, make sure they're taken care of, make sure, that they're going to be straight if I go and things like this. Is what I was explaining, because I couldn't see the head, but what this person did was grab me, and I was saying this, and then I realized in the dream towards the end that in my dream it was the spirit of death. I'll put it that way. He came to collect. Put it that way. And it was very, very frightening for me. And I was saying no, and I was praying to the Most High, and I was saying, I can't now, And these dreams right here, this dream, like one of these dreams I'm talking about, the other ones didn't have like the spirit of death, or things like that, but it had I was talking, whether I was talking to my husband, because it was like my husband came and told me, come on, and different things like that. It was always kind of like I'm saying no, I can't go now. I have to make sure my kids are taken care of. I have to make sure everything is taken care of. My grandkids are taken care of, But doesn't mean that I'm gonna die or anything like that, But these are the dreams I'm having, which I am gonna die one day. But it doesn't mean like, immediately or anything like that. I don't believe, but I do believe that those dreams are kind of trying to tell me, make sure you have everything in order. Make sure you have yourself together. Make sure you have everything that you need, and do everything you need for your family to be taken care of, or for them to make it. You know, it may not even be taken care of in this physical world. It's spiritual. It could be spiritual, like everything you need for them, you know, to make it to heaven. You know, it doesn't matter if people, your kids, whoever, your mom, your dad, are not happy with you at the moment. They're gonna look at you like my husband is, as your best friend if they make it to heaven. You know, they're gonna be like, if it wasn't for you getting on my case, if it wasn't for you telling me the truth, if it wasn't for you helping me to turn around with the help of the Most High, I would have never made it. You know, some of us, we're gonna be barely making it into heaven. You know, because, you know, we're not doing all we can to make things right, to make amends, to fix things with our brothers and sisters, and to fix ourselves. So this is a must. You know, we must fix ourselves. We must help those around us to make it to heaven. Now, if they don't, or if they come short, it will be up to them. Because, you know, if you strive, if you struggle, if you try, if you pray to the Most High, if you go to Him, He's going to come to you. He's going to help you. But you have to mean it with everything within you. It's not a game. You have to mean it with everything in you. And you have to want to work and work it out to get there. You have to work. You know, I remember reading a comment, and I'm not going to keep going in these comments, but this was beforehand too, before even the first video the video I just made. But the person was saying something about my husband was lying, and it is grace from Jesus, something they were saying, and that you don't have to work to get to heaven. Your sins were already paid for. So she said that in one breath, and then another breath said, you know, once you're saved, then it's your righteous works that count. Okay, works are works. You know, you just contradicted yourself. Works are works. You said you don't have to work, and then you said it's your righteous works, which you're saying you have to work righteousness. That's what you're saying. So works are works. You have to work. So some people need to kind of listen and to what they're saying. You know, and listen to how they're saying it, because they're contradicting themselves. You have to work. Working righteousness is work. You're working to get into heaven. You're working righteousness, doing good to get to heaven. That is work. And so, you know, this is what the dreams seem to mean to me about, you know, the different dreams. You know, it's more spiritual, I think. You know, you all can tell me what you think in the comments, but this is what I think. Maybe what you say or what you think, or you'll get some discernment better than mine, and, you know, I can understand it a little bit more. This is, you know, just what I think is maybe spiritual, and working on myself and my family, and putting forth more work to make sure that we make it, you know. And so, you know, these are the couple of dreams that I have. I've had more. Just like, I don't know if I told that dream, but I had a dream right after my husband passed that he came to me, and it was like he was on a bed, and, you know, he was talking to me, and he said, tell me I had to do it again. You know, and I was like, oh no, I can't do that again. You know, I can't go to 3 more days like that, because it's supposed to have been 3 days he was in the hospital, and he passed away. It's like in the dream, I was holding his hand, and his hand went down, and he passed away. And I was saying I can't go through that again. And he was telling me I have to. And I said, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not doing it. I can't go through that again. And anyway, he was telling me, you know, this is what you have to do. You have to do this or whatever. And I was real sad, and I put my head down there, and I was just kind of like devastated, like, I don't want to do this again. I can't do this. I don't want to go through this again. And I looked up, and he was gone. And then my mom was just like, you know, whatever the Most High wants you to do, and whatever you have to do, you just have to do it. Everything is for a reason. Everything is in God's plan. So that was one of the dreams, as well as others. But everything's in God's plan, and we have to do what needs to be done. There's no other way out of it. One day we're all gonna go. What we want is to make it to heaven. What we want is to have done what the Most High wants us to do. So again, I want to thank you all. We're doing okay. We're just getting ready to move, and for me, I keep saying that because for me, I hate moving. I don't like it. It's a lot to do when it comes to that, and we're just doing kind of a quick sell or whatever. It's not like a quick sell, like like a short sale or something. It's not like that. It's like instead of putting it on the market, just get it paid for outright. And then we are probably gonna go. We're not gonna be here in this part anymore, but we're looking for something that a tad bit bigger and that a little bit more private. So that's what we're looking for right now. Not around too many people or not around anybody, So that's what we're looking for right now. And hopefully we find it, because those are kind of hard to find. But some of the money that we have, it's gonna be given and donated just, to other people. I'll put it that way. I don't want to say, and say what we're gonna do and this and that. But I'm saying it, just in case people are wondering, because I know how people's mind work. Well, if they're selling a house, then they should have this and this and that. Yeah, we're not selling a house for a lot. Just trust me. And then we're modest. We've learned to be that way. We're just trying to get something that we can be comfortable in, settle in, be big enough for us, and that's it. And we also give. We're gonna give because anytime you give, you should give. And so that's pretty much it. We're just gonna have, get the stuff to move, this and this and that. And whatever we can't take, we're not. And whatever we can, we are. We just want to ensure that we have the things we need. So we want to take the animals because there are animals and they're living beings, They're animals, but they're living beings. So, you don't want to just leave them here and, without food, without water, or somebody harms them. That's not what we're going to do. So the main thing is taking our animals more than, taking the other things, and then with us, the main things, even if it's just our clothes and, just the main things we need. So that's it. But even with that, moving is very expensive, as well as taking care of children and different things like that. So we're just trying to get out. But I think the Most High, He made it work, He made it work for us and others. And I thank the Most High that He helped my children especially to to know how to do things through my husband, and to know how to work with computers and do coding and make websites and do art, digital art, different art for people who need websites done, books done, comics, different things like that. And then they also, especially my daughters, they can sew and they make stuffed animals and gift sets. This is what they have done for us for different days when we did Mother's Day, birthdays, and Father's Day, different things at that particular time. They did that for us. And then even now, we don't really celebrate Mother's and Father's Day, but they made a Parents' Day. They said, well, no, we're going to have Parents' Day. We want to give you something. And that's not only my daughters, my son too, They wanted to give us something, so they would make things, as well as if they bought things, they buy things. But they made things, and like I told them, the made things are more precious than the bought things for me. And my husband told them that too, because you're making it, and you're making it personally for that person, and it's very special. So whether it's cards, whether it's stuffed animals, they make little like to those sucker things with the candy and stuff, all types of stuff they know how to do. All of them know how to do that. My son too. And as far as just drawing and doing different things, but males, they want to make something more. If they're gonna make it, or just go buy something. Now I'm really into making like stuffed animals and stuff like that. Even if he knew how, he doesn't, knows how. He's not into that. Just doing that. He'd rather go, buy flowers and things like that. My husband was like that too. That's a male thing to me. They rather get you some flowers, get you some candy, jewelry, things like that. Perfume, whatever it may be. They get you things like that. But even with that, we don't try to get too, extravagant and overly do things. We've learned not to do things like that. It's about the Most High and what the Most High wants. It's about helping to take care of, others before yourself. And so that's what we try to do most. In saying that, I'm just saying that we do things moderately. We try to do things affordably and things like that, because a camel will get through eye of a needle before a rich man gets into heaven. And that's even if you're being, what my husband used to say, nigger rich, And what he means by that is, you don't really have the money, but you're trying to overly spend to impress people. And that's not just for black people. That was for everybody. What that means, nigger, is ignorant. And that is what that means. You're being ignorant. You're spending and overly doing it, and not paying your bills, and not giving to others, which is more important than all of it. Not making sure that children have food, you have food. You just want to pretend like you have so much money, and even those who have so much money, they overly spend and get into debt and get in jail for tax evasion or tax fraud or whatever it may be, because they're not doing what they should do, or they're not giving like they should give. If you have enough to give, why don't you give what you're buying that certain thing with for over $500,000 or more, or whatever you're doing? Why don't you give that to some needy people? There's a lot of needy people right now. Why don't you give charity? Why don't you give donations? Why don't you help? Help. It don't hurt you. As a matter of fact, it puts a blessing on your scalp. It puts blessings in heaven for you, and your blessings can take away those sins that you did, your good deeds, your righteous acts. Can take away those sins, can help you be forgiven for those sins that you did, be forgiven for those who you wronged, help be forgiven, and help you make amends to those who you hurt, who you did wrong, who you need to fix things with. And some of them are not here anymore, and all you have is to try to make amends in other ways. So why don't you do that? And as for those who are here, why don't you try to make amends with them and fix things with them before they pass, before you pass, before you can't do it. So on my next video, because I want to make more videos, and my daughter does. On my next video, if the Most High permits, I want to talk a little bit more about my husband and this family and myself. And my husband as in our marriage. And to those who are married and those who are trying to start relationships and get married and things like that, just want to kind of have a talk about things that we've been through. And, maybe you don't have to go through the same things or go down the same road and have to learn the lesson the hard way. And that goes for the younger this generation too. Should listen, because some of you don't have to knock your heads. You don't have to go out there and stumble and fall and be humbled to the dust. If you just listen, you'll be humble, from the beginning. If you listen to those who've already been through it, and that goes for younger and older generation. Because some older people, they still are acting like the younger generation, and they still don't get it. Just like my husband video, you still don't get it, do you? They don't get it in any way, you know. They don't get that they need to fix themselves. They don't get that the Most High is more important than any material thing you can have. Making it to heaven is more important than that. Any, you know, person, any other foolishness. Nothing should come before the Most High. It's just nothing. Nothing should come before the Most High. That is just not what we do as believers. And don't turn the Most High's word around to fit your own foolishness, your criteria. You're not supposed to change the word, not even, people think, oh, you have to write it down and change it. No, you're changing it also when you say that something's in there that it's not. When you turn it around and say it means something that it doesn't, you're changing the word. Saying that, okay, that don't matter no more. That was in the old days, but now, you know, we're in a new time, we're gonna do it a new way. Well, you just changed the word. You know, you can't change the word, and you also have to know what's true and what's not true in the word. People tend to like to go with what's not true because it fits their agenda and what they want to do. You can't do that. If it's for you or against you, you need to go by the word and by the truth. And that's when anybody's even telling you the truth. Whether it's for you or against you, you need to go by the truth and do what the Most High said. And that's for people, you know, themselves, like your own self. Whether it's for you or against you, choose truth. Stop choosing a lie. Stop choosing to live a lie. I love you guys, and I want to thank you again for your help and for your love and for your kindness. I thank you for everyone that you helped, and those that you helped, and, you know, those that can still eat and stay in their places and things like that, you know, and not be out on the street in the heat or the cold or in any other situation. Thank you. I want to remind everybody to never give up, never give in, never surrender to the enemy. Much love and peace. Rap's wife.